Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Shine with Tish podcast. Drum roll, please. Brrrr. Gives me great pleasure to have the CEO for Metro Bus, which is in St. Cloud, Minnesota, to be our guest of honor today. Ryan Daniel, please introduce yourself to our viewing and listening audience.
Well, thank you, Tish. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of
My name
course.
is Ryan Daniel. I serve as the CEO of St. Cloud Metro Bus, a public transit agency serving the residents of St. Cloud, Sartell, Sauk Rapids, and Way Park, Minnesota, where we provide 7-day-a-week bus service. And you
Mhm.
also have paratransit service for those people who are not able to utilize our fixed route service. I've been in the business now for over 25 years.
Mhm.
I started out as a bus operator myself, working in New York City Transit to be exact. While
Mhm.
going to college, I did my undergrad and my grad while driving a bus. So you think of like the Ralph Cramden days from the Honeymooners,
Yes.
down Times Square, and just going to college and wanted just to live the American dream, get my education, and just
Mhm.
do more than just driving a bus. And I'm fortunate throughout my career working in agencies such as Washington, D.C., Central Ohio Transit Authority, and now at St. Cloud Metro Bus. I'm just happy to be able to lead a dedicated group of transit professionals as we look to make a difference in central Minnesota.
Excuse me, is that the vice president behind you?
Yes, it is. The one and only.
Wow. Wow. Tell us a little bit about that photo.
Yeah, so that photo was taken actually here in St. Cloud. So
Uh-huh.
approximately a year ago, Vice President Kamala Harris flew in from Washington, D.C., flew into St. Cloud, Minnesota to New Flyer Industries. So New Flyer is a bus manufacturing company located right here on the outskirts of town in St. Cloud, where New Flyer, they manufacture buses for basically every state in the United States, potentially every transit system will have at least one bus be a New Flyer bus. That's how
Mhm.
big and powerful
Wow.
this company is. So they make hybrid electric buses, they
Wow.
make natural gas buses, they make coach buses, they make traditional diesel buses. You just think of like the New York Cities, the Chicago transits, Los Angeles, all those buses are New Flyer buses.
Wow.
Think about like the longevity and the durability that these buses are able to provide to navigate the streets of New York, Chicago, Boston, LA. Very big company here. And we're fortunate to have the headquarters be here in town. And the vice
Wow.
president came to town to talk about the IIJA Act, which is the Biden Infrastructure Act, that as a result of this act, now we're able to create more union jobs, where we could build electrification of buses, we could build all these new technologies that go into these vehicles could be built right here in St. Cloud. So as a result of this additional funding, now we're able to create more union jobs, keep people employed, and produce vehicles that is also going to protect the environment for years to come.
Wow, that's so awesome. Congratulations on having a one-on-one pic with the VP in your office next to the American flag. That is so awesome. I'm so honored that you are my guest today, especially as I think about my nomination, the Shine Institute being nominated for a global award. I thought that I would dedicate April as customer appreciation podcast and just thank individuals that I've served and allow them to be my guests to continue to get the name out there for the Shine. So, first question asks, let's see. What nomination did the Shine Institute submit for you, and what were the results?
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's an easy question.
Mhm.
The nomination that the Shine Institute submitted for me, the Most Admired CEO Award nomination, was submitted on behalf of the Shine Institute.
Yes.
And the result,
What was the
I
result?
was one of 10 selectees, honorees to win that award. So we had approximately 350 nominations. Well,
Mhm.
Minneapolis St. Paul Business Journal are the ones who spearheaded this nomination process. They received over 350 award nominations,
Yeah.
submissions, and I was selected. So 10 CEOs were honored throughout the state of Minnesota as the most admired CEO, and I was one of them.
OMG. I had a conflict and could not make the presentation. Tell us, congratulations again. It's less than a year ago. Can you please bring us back? Help us to relive that moment. The announcement. I know we did the announcement at your board meeting, and then oh my gosh, it was a fanfare with tables and you selecting the music and having a speech. Just give us a day in the life of the experience of receiving that award.
Yes, okay. So from the time that we were selected, the time that I was notified of the selection, it was made during my board meeting. That was exciting. My board members, St. Cloud Mayor Dave Kleiss, who serves as the board chair, was at the meeting that day, and just it was just so celebrate. It was just so full of celebration. Everybody was excited for me.
Mm,
Or just I was humbled to receive the award number one. So thank you for the nomination.
of
But
course.
also it goes to a testament of the team that I have in place. Like I just think about my career trajectory and I think about all the work that I've done at different agencies and I think about all the work that I've done here at Metrobus and just being recognized for the good work that I'm doing, not just in my Metrobus role, but what I'm doing in the community
Yes.
is being recognized on a state level. And to me that was so humbling to be recognized for the great work that's being done. But I like to give credit to my team. I like to give
Yeah.
credit to the community that I live in. I like to give credit to the mayor of the city that I also live in, who also serves as my board chair, as I mentioned previously, St. Cloud Mayor Dave Kleiss, for his support and his leadership and mentorship throughout my 10 years of being at the helm of St. Cloud Metrobus. But the award ceremony was wonderful. We had a nice plated dinner. We had about over 1,000 attendees at the event. It was music, food, celebration. And then we also got a chance to network with the other winners and their family and friends, and also get a chance to learn about their businesses and get to learn about what makes them unique to the point that they're also being nominated as the most admired CEO as well. So
Yeah.
to me, that was a wonderful experience. Definitely.
That was so amazing, Ryan. I was so very proud of you. I mean, your career is such a testament to young people. I still consider you a young man, to young people, to young Black men, which is very special. And just to blaze the trails, right? Sky's the limit. Next, who
Yeah.
knows? You may be president of the United States. You gotta run, Brian. Gotta put your name in the hat for one of these years coming up. I'm so very proud, and
Well,
it
thank
was
you.
an honor and a pleasure to take all that you've accomplished. And I'm sure that's a question that's going to be coming up, and just select the right words to paint the colorful collage of the man, the Caribbean man that you are by way of New York, and just to share how you season spaces, how you are fearless, you do not back down, and how you are so for your team, for the people. Um, Hardworking, long nights, safety first, and never leave until the job is done. So, job well done, well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. The next question is, why did you secure me as your executive coach?
Because you're the best in the business.
All right, that's so sweet. Thank you. God has been good. Thanks.
In addition to that, I will also say I secured you as my executive coach because of your expertise in leadership development and your track record of helping executives like myself navigate complex challenges effectively. I also believe that having a trusted advisor like you is critical for personal and professional growth, and I value the insights and perspectives you bring to the table.
Ryan. I think of, and I always have to bring it back to the word. I think of the verse that says, with a multitude of counsel, there is safety.
Mhm.
When you have good counsel, when you have someone to look at that blind spot, how many times have you
Yeah.
shared with me? I'm like, Ryan, you should have done this. And you're like, I see your point. I see your point. I'm just so grateful that you're not a prideful man because I've worked with all types of CEOs. I'm grateful that you're flexible and
Yeah.
you're able to alter decisions after looking at the business case. I'm grateful that at the end of the day you value your employees,
Yeah.
because some businesses do not put employees first. And
Right.
safety, we can have it all, but if we don't have our employees as number one, and making sure that we're, especially in your line of business with transportation. I mean, you are from New York. You saw what happened in 2001 with the Twin Towers. Like, safety is so critical,
Yes.
and all that you've done to minimize accidents. And we'll come to that question, but I thank you for entrusting me. I thank you for just recognizing that you can be better in investing in yourself and setting yourself up for success by giving me, solo team, an opportunity to be of service to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We've had such amazing conversations.
Yep,
Such
definitely.
amazing
I'm just smiling, thinking back to myself, like, oh my gosh, this, all the phone calls, the conversations, the advice, your expertise. It all goes back to your expertise of how you're able to help me navigate the complex challenges of being a CEO of an
Mhm.
agency such as St. Cloud Metrobus.
Yeah. What have you achieved since 2022? What have been some of your achievements? I mean, we have, like you said, we have talked back and forth and back, late night. What do you think about this? The CEO award was just one of many that we worked on, just
Yeah,
based on as you matriculate from 2022, 2023, and now we're in 2024.
right. Well, I would say, well, since working with the Shine Institute, I've achieved several milestones. I would say, for starters, improved decision making abilities by
Mhm,
leveraging strategic frameworks and
mhm,
tools recommended by the Shine Institute. That was
mhm,
critical. Strengthening communication skills, especially in high stakes situations, such
mhm,
as board meetings and media interactions.
mhm.
Also, implemented effective team building strategies that have enhanced employee morale and productivity. Because
Yeah.
we talked about the employee morale, productivity. How does that
Yes.
work? How
Mhm.
do we change that morale? How do we change the culture? So now
Yes.
I'm able to implement effective team building strategies that will just
Mhm.
mitigate those challenges.
Yes.
And also develop a clearer vision and roadmap. We have to think 5 years out, 3 years out, strategically thinking.
Mhm.
So now I'm able to develop a clearer vision for the future of St. Cloud Metrobus, which is going to lead to increased stakeholder confidence and support.
I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, you are gonna eventually upgrade. And I just see you in politics. I see you serving just not only in transportation, I see you serving beyond, and maybe working with the mayor or working. I know you go to the Capitol several times. You have your calendar. Oh my gosh, Ryan. It's meeting after meeting after meeting after board. Let's talk about some of the boards. I know uh that's an impromptu question, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh, your schedule, just making time for us to connect, it's such a strategy in itself,
Right.
because you're such a
Tell me
man
about
of
it.
so many. You're not only in transportation, you're not only focused on your employees and safety and everything, Metro bus, you're in a hospitals, you're in service, United Way. I mean, you've done so much. Just please share a little bit on the boards and what you've done. Again, supporting your nomination, supporting our our collaboration as executive coach, and all of your phenomenal boards that you are on.
Well, I start with the St. Cloud Hospital Board. So I serve as vice chair of the St. Cloud Central Care St. Cloud Hospital Board, and I also am a member of the Quality and Safety Committee and the executive committee within the hospital itself. I've been on that board now for 5 years. We
Mhm.
focus on quality and patient experience, safety, looking at it from a hospital perspective. How do we keep patients safe, essentially? How do we enhance the quality of life for patients and employees from the moment they walk through the door? So that's one of our patient experience is one of our priorities with regards to making sure everybody gets the same experience, no
Mhm.
matter the color of your skin. We look
Yes.
at safety, zero harm. How do we ensure that we have zero harm? How do we work towards zero harm for our patients is important.
Yes.
So those are some of the things that we look at from a quality safety perspective. But
Mhm.
then when you look at the board perspective, we look at the strategy, we look at the 5 year plan, we look at the growth of Centricare and the hospital. What can we do to continue to grow our services? We want people to be healthy. We don't
Yeah,
want people to be sick.
that's
So
right.
how do we strategize around that? Community health is important. We have to go back into the community and tap into resources. How do we keep people safe? Eventually, essentially, is what the goal is of being on the hospital board. And I'm grateful for that experience. I'm
Mhm.
happy to be on the board, happy to serve, happy to also not only represent Metrobus in this case, but represent the community at
Yeah.
large.
Yes,
Very
absolutely.
important because we, as black and brown folks, our challenges with regards to healthcare, when we look at disparities of care, are
Yeah,
different from those who are not black and brown. So how do we
yes.
ensure that the people who look like you and I, we get the
Equitable
same
service,
care?
yes.
So that's important too. So we spend a lot of time looking at the disparities of care. We look at what are the challenges that affect us the most. We look at high cholesterol, we look at high blood pressure, we look at pregnancy, eclampsia, preeclampsia. We look at all these different
Yes.
things, and how do we ensure that we still get the same level of care, knowing the challenges that we have just by being black and brown.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be at the table, happy to have those discussions, happy to be part of the meeting where we could give direction, give oversight to ensure that things are being done safely, right the first time. Because we don't want to do it again the second time. We don't want to have a surgery on the same leg because somebody made a mistake. So how do we make sure we do it
Yes.
right the first time?
Yeah.
And then
And
in
that's
addition
why
to that, I serve as vice chair of the St. Cloud Regional Airport Authority. So you look at transportation, you look at healthcare, and then you look at the airport safety, transportation, it all goes hand in hand. Serving on the airport board has been a great experience because now we're looking at revenue, we're looking at business, we're looking at growth, we're looking at future, we're looking at strategy. How can we ensure the sustain how are we able to sustain the growth of the airport?
hmm
What can we do differently? A lot of people have private jets. A lot of people are retiring. We have maintenance schools that are scarcely located throughout Minnesota. We have airline mechanics who are retiring. We have a need for mechanics. We have a need for all these different things. How can we utilize our footprint in the airport to capture that need, capture that growth, and make sure that we are able to train, place, and connect the next future generation of leaders? Because the airport is going to be here for generations to come. How do we ensure that we have more commercial service coming to the airport where we could grow our economic footprint here in St. Cloud? We
Yes.
could grow our revenue base.
Yeah.
Hey, let's reach out and let's have more airline service because now people could live, work, and play, and we
Yeah.
make it convenient for them to want to do that. So being on the airport,
Commercial, as you said, live, work, and play, because we know you taught me this in our time together, where transportation goes,
the
something
community grows.
grows,
Yep.
community grows.
But transportation goes, the community grows.
Yes, he taught me that. And so I've learned from you that the city that you work is one of the upcoming best cities to live in, or something like that, I think you shared.
Yeah, so St. Cloud was nominated for 6 awards right in 2021, 2022. Actually, I was there. Surprised that I can't remember the date off my head, but St. Cloud won the Most Livable City Award. And we
Nice.
won 6 different categories: sustainability, arts and culture. It was other categories too, infrastructure, and it was
Mhm.
covers that we won, and we won in six, the most that a city has won, I think, in the history of the award program.
Amazing, amazing.
Yes, I was fortunate to accompany the St. Cloud Mayor Dave Kleiss on the trip to Rome because the conference that year was held in Rome, Italy, and we were able to go
I
together
love
and,
it.
and receive the awards. Yeah.
Ryan, I'm telling you, you may just have to come with me to Dubai. You are not only CEO, you're a world traveler. I mean, thanks for sharing with me your pictures in Dubai, recommending where to stay, sharing the entire food and beverage experience, your room. I mean, I consider you not only a client, but a friend, man. I learned from you. Likewise, you learned from me. So just thank you for just sharing. It's just an honor to be in your presence and to learn and grow from you mutually.
Yes.
And which leads perfectly to the next question. Why at times do you feel comfortable reaching out for advice, even if it's not work related?
Well, I feel comfortable reaching out for advice from you, that is, even on non-work related matters, only because I trust your judgment and value your holistic approach to leadership development. Your insights extend beyond the professional realm and have helped me navigate personal challenges, which will enable me to maintain a healthy work-life balance and make well-rounded decisions that align with my values and goals.
I'm so glad you took that trip to Barbados. I'm so glad that you went with your son. I'm like, Ryan, I don't care what you gotta do. You better go. And you made it happen. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's when you know things are going well, when you can grow, when you can be recognized for the hard work that you put in, as well as making time to frolic and play in the sun, right?
Yeah, definitely. Work-life balance.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so working in a corporate America is not the easiest. What was a mistake you made in the past prior to us working together? And how, because of us working together, how have you secured that not happen again?
Right. I would say one mistake that I made was not prioritizing effective delegation. I used to take on too many tasks myself, which led to burnout and then limited growth opportunities for my team. So, through coaching and guidance from the Shine Institute, I have learned the importance of delegation,
Mm,
empowering my team, and
yes.
focusing on high impact tasks that align more closely with my role as CEO.
Ryan, I just remember our conversation like, no, put it back. You got to put it back, push back. That is not your responsibility. And you certainly did. I am so proud of you having those necessary conversations and
Yeah.
putting it back in the right place. What strategies have you learned? I think we covered that. I think we covered
Yeah.
that. You answered that at the top.
Yeah.
I want to go to, have you referred us, the Shine Institute, to any other organizations? And what was the outcome?
Yeah. Well, I've referred you to two organizations, Minnesota Public Transit Association,
Mhm,
and I referred you to the Jugai Leadership Program. Well,
mhm,
I serve as president of the Minnesota Public Transit Association, and I serve as secretary and treasurer for the Jugai Leadership Program. And both organizations, through my recommendation and through my referral, has attained you and retained your services, both cases, to be keynote speakers in both circumstances. So when Minnesota Public Transit Association is concerned, we retained you to be our keynote closing lunch speaker. We talked about diversity in transportation,
mhm.
and that was well. I mean, we had a room of over 250 plus attendees from all over the state of not only Minnesota but Wisconsin. Yeah, that was a
Mhm.
joint conference, and you were able to talk about diversity, inclusion, and
Allyship.
transportation.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a wonderful experience. So we were fortunate to have you come and grace your presence with your wisdom. And then also the Jugai Leadership Program, we retained your services to be our keynote speaker for our graduates. And
Mhm.
there we had the mayor of St. Cloud, we had state representatives, we had presidents of the universities here in
Yeah.
town. We
Mhm.
had a lot of these business CEOs and business leaders from the community and even people from Minneapolis come just to be part of our leadership program, but also come to hear you speak. And you gave a lot of nuggets to our graduates. I mean, even some of the business leaders were taking nuggets and they wanted to pay
Yeah.
you to come back and
Yeah. Yes.
come
Yeah.
work with their team. So, I mean, just through the network and the referral, I mean, we all have to help each other. We're in
Yeah.
an industry where it's not wrong to copy and paste. It's not wrong to do referrals. It's not wrong to network. We're all
Best
here to support each other.
practices.
Best practices, industry best practices at that,
Yes.
is it
Yes.
critical? And you could sum that up with your human resource experience, your
Yes.
coaching experience. You have all this information, just your Forbes, your designation as Forbes
Mhm.
Council, Forbes Business Member Council. I mean, you have won awards yourself. I mean, you have this award coming up in the Business Global Award in Dubai that's coming up. You won an education award back in July this year when you had to go to Vegas to do your thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
wonderful. So we here to support each other as black owned businesses and black and brown community members. We're here to help each other.
Yeah.
So I love doing referrals. I love networking. I love people, give people the opportunity to see what you are capable of doing is important to me.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, if possible, I would love to ask Miss Eunice if she'd be interested in talking about Jugad this month, if at all possible. If she's free, that is. Because it looks like there may be some opportunity for Shine to come back before the year is out to do some leadership training. So I would love to
Yeah.
see if she's available to do that. So thank you again for your confidence in the services, for the referrals. Um, and who knows if even I think the young lady, was it Margaret or Meredith, who was
Yeah, Margaret. Yeah.
Margaret, yeah, Margaret for Wisconsin as well, to see if she would have some feedback or even entertain a conversation as we continue on for the month. So, Ryan, can you believe it's been a whole 27 minutes?
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun.
It surely does. It surely does. If I can think of one curveball question, I think I would ask you out of, I mean, you've been to so many countries. You've had so many awards. You've been at your job right now for over a decade. What do you find to be your greatest accomplishment thus far as a young man in his early 40s?
Being able to survive as a CEO for a decade, I think is a great accomplishment
Yes,
where I
yes,
am today. Just
yes,
knowing the
yes.
challenges that typically apply to people that look like you and I, and
Mhm.
just knowing that I have a good support system here with my board chair, with the city leaders, and just knowing the community that I'm in now, I think this is a big accomplishment. First, if I wasn't here, I would say definitely graduating with my MBA degree and my bachelor's degree while driving a bus. I mean, that by itself in New York City,
Yes, yes.
you know. But coming here opened up a lot of opportunities for me.
Yeah.
Just being able to be connected the way I am now, I'll
Mhm,
say that that's a great accomplishment to be here for a decade and still loving it, still shining, and
mhm,
just still learning as I grow. I think
mhm.
it's a big accomplishment for me, and I'm grateful for that experience and humbling, to say the least.
I think we should shout out your mentor in the DMV area who recommended you to take this job.
Mr. Carter, yes,
Yes.
yes, Mr. Carter, Mr. Carter, yep, Mr. Carter has been there. I know Mr. Carter now for over 15 years. He's been
Is
my
he?
mentor. He still is today. Every time I'm in DC, I go pay him a visit, and it's just the relationship that we've had not only during our time working together at Washington Metro in Washington, D.C., but even after Metro now in my role as CEO, just being able to bounce ideas off of him and get his feedback. And he's giving me his feedback based on his experiences and based on what
Yes.
he would do when he was in my shoes. So I
Yeah.
look at him as not only as a mentor, I look at him as a sponsor because
Yeah.
he's the person that I can call at 2 o'clock in the morning
Mhm.
and just shoot the breeze and talk about transit or talk about uni negotiations.
Yes.
A mentor, I had to keep it during business hours. So I
Mhm.
look at him as a little bit more than a mentor because he's
Mhm.
near and dear to my heart. I look at him as a sponsor. And that'll
Yes.
be one advice I give to the audience here tonight. Get yourself a sponsor. That
Yes.
sponsor is going to be there for you through thick and thin.
Yeah, yes, yes. How can our audience, our viewing audience, our listening audience follow you, stay in touch with you? Who knows if they would want to have you over to do a lunch and learn or what have you? I think you too can speak and encourage the masses.
Yeah. They can find me on LinkedIn. Just
Mhm.
put in my name in the search box.
Yes,
Ryan
yes.
Daniel, MBA, WSO, CSC, St. Cloud Metrobus, and I
Mhm.
will pop up. Or you can reach me through the Shine Institute because I'm
Yeah,
still a
yeah, yeah.
client.
That's right. That's right. It has been my esteemed pleasure to have you, Ryan. You are hot stuff, literally like flying fish and cuckoo. You are the bomb.com. You represent your family well, both your immediate family, both your personal family and just your island. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for your confidence in the Shine Institute, for always sending referrals, and for making it a great day on purpose. That's it, folks. Until next time,
Keep shining.
keep shining. You know it. Keep shining. Toodles.
Take care. Thank you again.